Good morning again. This is part 2 of the same chapter that we are continuing. Discovering Truth, the saga continues. So, this is the summary of the chapter actually. So, I will go through the summary and describe the chapter all along, and if possible. So, okay, let's leave the summary. Let's come to directly to the chapter. Okay, so here we have the text of this chapter, and we have the word meanings also. Okay, so, discovering truth, the saga continues. This is the lesson and its explanation. He was just a teenager when he died. So, this boy, this prince, Tutankhamun, he died when he was just a teenager and the last heir of a powerful family that had ruled Egypt and its empire for centuries. He was laid to rest, laden with gold, and eventually forgotten. So, history moves on, time moves on, and people often forget, okay, what has happened in the past. So, he was resting in his mummy for centuries. Okay, so after his death, he was made into a mummy. He was kept in that Egyptian pyramids. You know the famous pyramids of Egypt. Okay, and this prince was kept there as a mummy, and he was covered with gold. Laden with gold means totally covered and loaded with gold. Now, since the discovery of this tomb in 1922, the modern world has speculated about what happened to him. So, this modern world, today's world, uh, has thought about, has researched about this prince, that what happened to the prince actually. The tomb was discovered in 1922. Probably mostly they actually thought that with number being the most extreme, murder being the most extreme possibility, so the people thought that probably it was a murder. Actually, you know that in history, or we often come across the stories like this, that the prince was killed in order to inherit that power. Okay, someone wanted to conquer the throne, so the easiest way is to kill the king or kill the prince and become a king. Okay, rather than going into a head-on fight with that particular dynasty. So it happened in India also. You know, the sultanates, Razia Sultana was killed. Okay, and you know that after Humayun was defeated by King Hemu, and so Humayun defeated by King Hemu, and he fled from India because most of the kings in India didn't want to fight with the Mughals. They were pretty powerful, and then Akbar again came. So this capturing, recapturing of throne, murdering the prince, murdering the king, this was a very common mysterious thing that actually intrigues, that brings curiosity among the historians and the students who study history, among the researchers. So the modern world thought that probably Tutankhamun was killed and he was murdered to someone murdered him to conquer the throne of Tutankhamun. So the modern world has speculated about it. Now, leaving his tomb for the first time in almost 80 years. So in 1922, his tomb was discovered. Okay, but in those times, in 1922, think about it. It's just before Second World War. So we didn't have CT scan machines right at that moment. We didn't have X-ray machines because. Post World War II, Madame Curie, just before World War II, discovered that radioactivity, and so X-ray machines were discovered later on. So in 1922, neither did we have CT scan, nor did we have any X-ray machine or something like that. So his tomb was kept there for 80 years. That is coming to 2002 probably. Okay, 2001 and 2002, in that after 80 years. Okay, when you have CT scan machines, when you have X-ray machines, so again the researchers and scientists went there, okay, for researching that mummy again, that offers new clues about life and death. So that mummy was given a CT scan, okay, and it gave precise and accurate forensic reconstruction of this boyish pharaoh. So after that 3D CD scan, they had got a three-dimensional image of how that Tutankhamun looked. So coming to the easy, Tutankhamun, known as Tut, as a teenager when he died, he was the last successor of his powerful Pharaoh dynasty, which ruled Egypt and its empire for centuries. He was laid on rest, heavily loaded with gold. His tomb was discovered in 1922, which made the world raise a question about what had happened to him and whether he had been murdered. After almost 80 years, his body was about to undergo a CT scan, which would give new information and clues about his life and death. His face would be recreated with the help of a procedure called forensic reconstruction. Okay, so the procedure of reconstructing Tut's tooth again is called forensic reconstruction. Okay, and you should mark this word that for almost 80 years his body was there, okay, and waiting for being CT scanned, okay, because in those days there was no CT scan when this body was discovered. Now I'm stopping here again. I will give you the third part of the video. I am doing this because I want you to have this look over these videos very easily, because I don't want it to be very high on memory, because it will capture a lot of space in your phone. So you go over through these videos. Okay, later on I will probably upload them into some kind of domain so that you can go through these videos whenever you want. Okay, thank you. Next part is coming soon.